There's no better way to wait out the quarantine or the impending apocalypse from COVID-19 than boarding up the windows and singing along to Mood Ring. Mood Ring. It's Wade. It's Wade. It's Wade. Wade's World. It's Wade. Hell yeah, boy.
All right, welcome to Wade's World. Oh, excellent. Party time, whatever it is. We are coming to you live from my home here, the ultimate Quaranstream. We're coming to you live from my home here in New Braunfels, Texas, where we've been doing these. And as we did last week, we had to improvise because we're trying to abide by the rules and not have people come to our house and risk spreading it or getting us getting the coronavirus. So I'm manning the controls all by myself. So if something goes crazy wrong, you can blame me. But I'm going to do my best to bring you another week of Wade's World, my favorite thing during this quarantine. And this week's guest, I'm so proud to have him. I'm so honored from his home. Where are you in Austin? Houston?
Spicewood, Texas. Yeah, Austin. You could say Austin.
Yeah, Austin. From his home in Austin, Texas. Y'all please welcome my good friend, Mr. Cory Morrow. Yay!
Hey.
Virtual clap. That my guests have, it takes a few minutes. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to get used to no applause. We're not used to that.
Right.
Maybe I know I'm might be used to that a little bit with my
I'm
crowd.
used to it. I'm plenty used to it. I may even have a few years on you.
Well, welcome to Wade's World, buddy. I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Hanging out with we've had some pretty loyal followers during this. I believe this is our fifth one. So we've had Cody Canada, Randy Rogers, Jack Ingram. Last week we had Stoney.
Nice.
And you're next.
I'm Cory Morrow.
You're Cory Morrow.
Yeah.
and I just want you to understand, Cory, as we go through this, that I know a lot about you, and I know there's a lot of people out there that know a lot about you, but I might be asking questions that you'd be like, what the heck, you already know this, but I'm just making sure we cover all bases and want to talk about what you want to talk about. And as in traditional Wade's World fashion, this is a song swap, and I'd love for you to kick us off, man.
Oh, you're going to do that to me, huh?
Yeah, everybody gets so mad.
That was the unexpected twist. All right,
I've got a lot of requests for you tonight, so I'll keep an eye on those.
You told me about earlier.
Oh, cool.
Because, we'll just start the show off with, it's past bath time, so it's time to get naked. She's a waitress right now at some rundown Mickey Mouse town. On the weekends, she's my big city striptease. Well, she looks pretty sleek for $1 a peek. You can make her acquaintance, hello, and then just leave. Well, if Papa, he don't know his little baby's taking off her clothes. He don't ever ask how she pays the rent. Well, but I go to see her dance, Lord, just about every chance. She leaves me with the feeling it was money well spent. She's a big city stripper, and all the cowboys love to tip her, spending their lives in a velvet seat. $5 a beer, but I'll never ever want to leave here. She's my big city stripper. Ooh, I think she's in love with me. I was thinking this might be a strange place you want to go back to, when things get back to normal. Well, her life is a sordid wreck. Man, yeah, she seldom gets any respect. Yeah, but she's only doing what she loves the most. And my loving her, that's a task. Because she's always showing off her good taste and her judgment and her class. She's what all men want from coast to coast. Well, I spent the last 10 years just trying to face my fears, worrying about what all my friends might say. Yeah, it's kind of fun to dream, Wade. I'll just kick back and drink, Wade. Watch her dance, see all my troubles just stripped away. Stripped away! She's a big city stripper. All the cowboys love to tip her. Spending their lives in a velvet seat. $5 a beer. Oh, I never want to hear she's my big city stripper. I think she's in love with me. Solo. Proud. Well, she's a waitress right now in some rundown Mickey Mouse town. On the weekend, she's my big city. On the weekend, she's my big city. On the weekend, she's my big city striptease.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Way to kick it off. Way to kick it off with the the most requested one we have. There were so many people saying, please beg him. I beg of you to beg Cory to play Big Six. We all have the songs that we wrote that go, kind of wish I hadn't written that one. Dude, I love that song.
That you don't wish you hadn't written it. You wish you hadn't recorded it.
Well, no, I think there's plenty of us out there that would disagree with that, man. Well, it brought us a lot of fun.
What a compliment and a blessing too. You know that it's people enjoy listening to it. I still love playing it, and I remember Lloyd Maines told me not to record it, that it was awful, and I said, well, people, I think people will have fun with it, and they'll laugh and they'll sing along. Sure enough.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've been through all kinds of phases of your career, and I could love to dive into that tonight. And
yeah,
but the Big City Stripper was the early stages of your career.
Yes.
Was that
yes,
second album?
That was the that was on the Man That I've Been album. So it was kind of like the second one. I think that's right. Yeah. And
I was going to school.
That was kind of like when things were starting to pick up a little bit, and we were celebrating. You know, the fact that we got to play music for a living. I think we had quit our day job at that point, and things were starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, I went to school in Lubbock. You did for a brief time. And then you said, I'm going to play music. And you went off and started doing things and really being successful. And it was really fun for me. I was a fan first of yours before we got the chance to become buddies. And it was really cool me going to school in Lubbock, being at Texas Tech out there and just trying to start my career, trying to figure out how to do it. And I remember begging places to let me open up for you and Pat Green and Jack Ingram and those guys, man. So you took off very quickly, and it was a lot of fun. I'm sure it was fun for you to do that and be able to have the opportunity to say, I'm not going to go to school. Is that right?
Yeah. I think it was to the disappointment of my mother. She had paid for 2 full years and 4 semesters, and I was starting my 5th semester, and that was kind of when I decided that I wanted to try my hand at this. I think I'd switched majors about 3 or 4 times in that scenario, and so I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And music was fun, and I was just like, I don't know, getting a kick out of it. I met Pat there, and neither one of us really knew what we were doing. He kind of knew what he was going to do. He was going to go get a degree, and so he sort of had his act together. But I just was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and I figured if I went for it and didn't work out, I'd just go back to school. And my mom was like, "Well, I'm not paying for that." So that's okay, I got this. So I went and found a day job. I worked for a courier company in Austin for about 6 years, and just on and off. I think I got fired 6 times, and I quit 6 times. And he was a very understanding boss. But yeah, man, we're just trying to figure it out. You know, making cassette tapes and giving them out to as many people as we could, playing everywhere we could as often as we could, and just trying to write. It's always trying to write, and that was really a unique, fun time in my life, you know. And just when you don't have kids, you don't have a wife, and the only thing is you and your dog, or you and the bottle next to you, and trying to figure out what you're gonna write about, trying to find life experiences.
Yeah, man, and you did that. I mean, you did such a great job, and we'll talk about that as we go. But you've had a career, what, 20 years at least, 25 years?
20 plus years, yeah, 20 years of I think I finally quit the day job in about 99 or 2000, so it's been right at 20 years of music making me a living, which is just, I still pinch myself every morning to wake up and think that I get to go play and sing for people, and that's how I take care of my family and the people that work with us and their families. It's just kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
What
it's
a
fun
blessing.
to say that too, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, how incremental was Lloyd Maines for you in those early days? I chose, for some stupid reason, not to use Lloyd because everyone else was. That's how stupid I was, young and ignorant. And I've since got to work with Lloyd on a couple records, and I cannot say enough great things about him. But I always wonder what my career would have been like had I started off in the early days using him. I probably would have gotten a lot quicker knowledge and learned a lot more.
I say that a lot too. I think the first two, I made a little record and then another record. But you know, I didn't get to him till after we kind of got started. But well, you know what? That's not right either. we did kind of stop. But the very first record we made was a little 5-song EP, and I didn't know about him at that point. But I think he was extremely important and very influential. He definitely, over all these years of making records, he's the most fun and the most comfortable to get into the studio with. He speaks the language of every different position. He could speak to the drummer and tell the drummer what it is that I'm trying to explain to him in the studio. This is kind of what I want to hear. I'll play him a song and say, you know, this is what this band did and this is what it sounds like, and that's kind of the idea. And he goes, oh, okay. Hey, you need to go 4 on the floor with a flat high 2 and an H double 3 kickback. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. But he was great, and his ideas for when we were piecing the songs together to make the music flow were amazing. And he's got the ear, man, and he's got the personality and the attitude. He's been an awesome to work with. I still work with him. So.
Yeah, man, I can't say enough great things about him. And all that you said is true. Is he relates to you and back, and you relate to him, and it's very easy to work with someone. I've worked with a lot of producers that are really great producers, but they all have their own specialty that they're great at, and it seems like Lloyd he's very good at all of it. It's pretty cool. And he's a musician, right. But he's seeing the artist side with his daughter and the Maines Brothers Band. I don't know if you ever had the pleasure of seeing the Maines Brothers Band, but holy moly.
I never did.
I got to see them once when they opened up for the Dixie Chicks in Lubbock when I was in school there, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen, man. They're incredible. So, all right, man, we'll get back to the music here. I guess I always take requests. Every week we're taking requests. We're answering questions from people, so we probably got some funny ones. Our people, and hopefully your people, will send you some funny ones as well. We'll try to dive into the funnier side of Cory, because you're hilarious, man. But this is a song that I wrote after, I was on the road probably 15 years ago. I was on the road for the month of June. I think I played 27 shows or 28 shows that month. And that's back with no kids, no wife. and you just went.
That's
and
huge.
Just
That's
played
huge.
every night. Yeah, that's all we wanted to do. And I remember going to the bus after the 19th day in a row and started writing this song. And Randy Rogers helped me finish it, thank God, but related it to it. So I'll try to remember the words here. Days straight, I'm lonely as hell, and there's nothing I can do. Emptiness comes over me as I sit here thinking about you. I take my boots off, set them on the floor next to my bed. I try to fall asleep, but I'll just end up laying there instead. Oh, why do you wait for me, lonely? Why do I miss you only? Why do we hold out for just one kiss? Yeah, 'cause why makes perfect sense. It's been 20 days, I bet you woke up bright and early, right on time. I know it's hard to start your day when the only thing you know holds a telephone line. Yeah, tomorrow will be the same, and every day until I'm done. But I'll make sure and make it home to you, girl, just as fast as I can run. Whoa, why do you wait for me, lonely? Why do I miss you only? Why do we hold out for just one kiss? Yeah, 'cause why makes perfect sense. Oh, walking to the door and you're standing there. Girl, you don't have to say it, I already know why. You wait for me, lonely, why? I miss you only, why? We hold out for just one kiss. Yeah, baby, why? You wait for me, lonely, why? I miss you only, why? We hold out for just one kiss. Yeah, 'cause why makes perfect sense. Yeah, baby, why makes perfect sense.
I love it, man. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Virtual applause.
Uh,
My wife
virtually.
reminded me that I was married when I wrote that song.
That's good. That's good. That's what their wives are supposed to do.
Yes, for sure.
I remind
Welcome
my
to-
wife that every love
Go
song I ever wrote, I wrote for her, even the ones I wrote before I met her.
Yep. Let me turn this down. They say I'm peeking a little bit here. So.
She especially likes the ones that have other girls' names in them,
Oh yeah,
even though they're
Those
I
are
wrote 'em
always
for my
there.
wife. right. Yeah.
My wife always thinks that everything I write is like about her or something involved, because I am pretty open diary songwriter for the most part, but not every song is relatable to our experience. You got to write about some characters sometime and different things.
Right. Well, I really enjoy the ones that are personal, and I love that that side of the songwriting. For me, it's the same way. I'm very autobiographical.
Yeah,
Albums
man.
sort of follow that.
Well, welcome to Wade's World, everybody that's tuning in. We appreciate you being a part of our Friday night, and it's so good to have my good buddy Cory Morrow with us. We're here for the long haul. I told him earlier that these have been lasting for a very long time. People tune in and don't leave. It's pretty cool. So we'll hang out as long as we can.
It's Friday.
Yeah,
Here's
it
to Friday.
is. Hey, cheers. Yeah, hold on.
It's been a long, hard week. It's been a long
Cheers,
work
buddy.
week, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Lots going on, right?
I mean, yeah, homeschooling is tough, dude.
And you
My
have
job,
5 kids.
well, my job as the homeschooling authority is I take the kids into the music room, and we work on the piano and then guitar, and I take them out for driving lessons, and that's pretty fun. It scares the neighbors a little bit, but
Yeah?
you know, dad's got to have his responsibilities.
Yeah, man. You got to do what you got to do. It's those times. Who's the
you,
best
you're at
teacher
New
in the
Braunfels.
house? Is it you or your wife?
The best teacher?
Yeah, who's doing the best teaching at this point? Because I am out. Every time I try to help, it makes me feel so stupid.
Well, your kids are a little bit older, right? So I mean, they're actually studying stuff that you hope to have remembered, but probably forgot, right?
Yeah.
Am I peeking?
You know, I don't. Well, okay, 9th grade and 5th grade. Definitely not helping the
Oh.
9th grade. And then 5th grade, it makes me feel really stupid because I can't do 5th grade math. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? So,
What's 5th grade math? That's not algebra yet, right?
not yet. It's
So it's just like times tables and stuff.
geometry and
Oh yeah, hypotenuse.
fractions.
And, yeah, and
Anyway, if it says math at all, I'm out. Welcome to Wade's World, the ultimate Quaranstream. Our guest this week is Cory Morrow. Play us a song, buddy. Let's get this thing,
man.
keep her going here.
I love that one, man. This is a love song for my wife. Like I said, they're all love songs for my wife. I can see from the top of my heart a love that's paper thin, and there's nothing to lose when you put nothing in. And I can hear in the back of my mind those same old voices again, telling the same old story and stealing the hope of this man. And I've been afraid to live, running out of time. But love is patient and love is kind. From the top of my heart, I've been trying. Lord, help me find the bottom this time. This ground has been tilled by a love whose harvest was always enough. Now I'm learning to live on the things I know fill me up. And I can see from the top of my heart to the bottom was a long way to go. And divine is the taste of the love that carried my soul. I've been afraid to live, running out of time. time.
Yeah, man. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Thanks, brother.
We don't have commercial breaks, by the way. We just keep plugging away. So,
Do you make your own commercial breaks, hoping
I
that
wish.
you get a sponsorship?
oh, Wade's World brought to you by Reese's. Oh gosh, I got about 1 million of those Reese's eggs, and the Easter Bunny brought.
It's just
Nothing like-
it's the right amount of peanut butter chocolate, you know.
It's perfect. It's the best candy ever.
Ratio. It's a math term. I know you don't like to use math, but
Working on that quarantine body. It's no longer dad bod. It's quarantine bod.
so like an extra 10 or 20 pounds around the back inside.
Yeah. Welcome to Wade's World, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. The ultimate Quaranstream. Oh,
How you doing? Are we having fun yet?
we're having issues here.
All right. Issues are kind of like fun.
Of course, we have issues, right? All right, Corey, you there?
I am here. It doesn't look like I'm here, but I'm here. I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks, Corey.
Maybe we should play. Oh, now we're split. Now it's all you. It's all about you.
All right. I think we're back now. Welcome to Wade's World, where I am doing everything myself, including running the sound, which is going in and out, I'm hearing too. So we're doing the best we can. We're trying to be as pro as possible. So,
What have you been doing?
you know, be as pro as possible. That's what we're trying to do. And I'm sorry that I'm not, but I'm doing the best I can.
Have you
Once
been
again, our
writing?
guest this week is Cory Morrow. We do have a virtual tip jar available. You go to wadebowen.com/tip. And you can tip. You can, I think, PayPal and Venmo as well. A portion of the money tonight. Had this asked a lot last week for Stoney. Yes, it goes to our guests. It goes to helping with expenses, and it's also a portion of the proceeds are going to help Music Cares, who is a great, great organization that is helping musicians in every facet. Always has, especially right now, though. They're really going above and beyond, trying to get musicians that have been canceled shows, and you know, we've all been out off the road, obviously. So they're doing all they can to help out, and we've been able to make a donation every week now to them, and it makes us feel really good and glad to be a part of it. I get asked a lot, how can you help artists? You can donate tonight to the virtual tip jar, but you can also go to our websites, wadebowen.com, is it CoryMorrow.com?
That is correct.
CoryMorrow.com, or your favorite artists' websites. Go there and buy their merch and get something for your buck. It's a really great way. We've had a great support from everybody on our website, and it really means a lot that everybody's helping and buying stuff. And we got Wade's World t-shirts for sale on there. We have Wade's World caps, Wade's World bandanas. Yes, we have bandanas. And we also have new shirts.
That's a good move.
Not Your Average Joe. We made a Tiger King. Did you watch that show?
Yeah, we watched it.
And
Hey, I
that's
don't
it.
have. Not that I'm complaining. I have a beautiful picture of you and your family on the beach, but I'm not seeing.
There you are.
There you are. You're back.
Hey, we're live. We're live, buddy. This is the way we do it.
That's perfect.
We're hanging out.
Yeah, man. I saw it. That's good that you got bandanas. That's a good idea. Maybe some rubber gloves. Would be the next thing to buy.
Wade Bowen glove.
could just say it could be like the Blues Brothers. It could be like Wade Bowen on the fingers, you know. So Wadebeowen. Yeah, that would work, you know, with a space.
All right, I'll get on it. I hope my people are watching.
Have you been writing a bunch during the quarantine? What have you been doing like mostly?
I've been writing a little bit, been messing around. I bought some studio gear and trying to utilize this time to
Learn something.
Learn something, yeah. I also started taking guitar lessons, which is very needed in my case. Started learning some little bit of guitar. I'm not a great guitar player like you are, so I got to work on it. I figure this is a good time. My strategy during this time off has been do the things that I said I never had time for before, because now we do.
Right.
And so I'm taking advantage of it. I'm actually really enjoying the quarantine time with my family. And for guys like us who are always on the road, man, this is a really special time that we'll never forget.
It's a blessing in disguise, man. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think that's great. Who are you taking lessons from?
My guitar player, Nick Gardner.
Oh,
he's helping
genius.
me out.
That's genius.
I don't want to ask John Carroll. He'll be too smart for me.
Keith Gaddis is texting me asking me to play a bunch of his songs.
That's great.
He says, please play El Cerrito or Big City Blues.
Oh, God, I'd love to hear you do either one.
Oh, man.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
What are you doing? Are you writing?
Big City Blues. I'm writing. I actually have been writing more than I've ever written. And my kids, they're just, like you said, there's just something about being home with everybody. And mine are all little. And so when I start playing guitar, they all come running in and they want to jump in and play with me. And it's I've said for 7 years that it would be distracting. And so I haven't really done a lot of writing here. But, man, I come in here and I start playing and they jump in and something happens and I just get filled up and I just start getting these ideas. And then, I've written like 2 or 3 songs in the time that we've been here, and just messing with a bunch of different stuff and learning a bunch of stuff. Like I've learned a Billy Joel song and a Bill Withers, and just kind of, like you said, learning the stuff that I always said I wanted to learn, you know, and kind of getting in there and doing that. So it's been fun.
Yeah, man. Are you doing any FaceTime or Zoom writing? Have you tried that yet?
No, I haven't tried that.
I haven't either. I'm ready.
Do you want to try some Zoom writing?
Let's try some Zoom writing. You
want to try? I got a couple several that are half written, man. I'd love to do that with you.
I'm in. I'm trying to write a record. That's my goal during this time off, is to try to write a record and get it done. So.
Yeah, the quarantine letters.
Yeah. This is one that's came out of nowhere this week. We had a lot of requests. I've been diving into a lot of older songs that I don't normally play, and trying to remember the words to the old ones and to the ones that I'm not familiar with all the time. And I've done pretty good for the most part, knock on wood. But this is one that kind of came out of nowhere this week. The last few days, people asking for this one, and it's really cool. I actually don't play this one very much, and I'm surprised that people wanted to hear it, because it's not one that's always requested. But I think people are getting used to these nights and how they know we're reaching deep into the catalog to try to find stuff that we don't normally play. So this is one that actually my buddy Sean McConnell wrote and let me cut years and years ago. Looking down at the strip from my hotel room, must be a full moon, 'cause they're all out tonight. All the insecure boys in their muscle cars, young girls in push-up bras under neon lights. They come here for freedom, freedom from anything. And for miles and miles down this road, you can hear them sing with their voices, their engines, Seems like round here no one knows. No one knows. There's more behind these dead skies and all these filthy streets. Take my hand, let me pull you out of the blindness of your weary soul. Somewhere beautiful, somewhere beautiful. Is there any way to learn from what you've been told? Or do you really have to hold the experience? Yeah, 'cause you can lead me now and come out clean. Trust me, I could spare you the consequence. I can't tell by your eyes that there ain't no getting through. 'Cause you're hell-bent on doing exactly what you gotta do. So welcome to a long line of sinners and saints. Is there anyone out there who ain't? Don't you know there's more behind these dead skies and all these filthy streets? Take my hand, let me pull you out of the blindness of your weary soul. Somewhere beautiful, somewhere beautiful. Yeah, don't you know so much more beyond these dead skies and all these filthy streets? Take my hand, let me pull you out of the blindness of your weary soul. Somewhere beautiful, somewhere beautiful, somewhere beautiful, somewhere beautiful.
Ah, man. That's. I
Sean
love it. I
McConnell.
love it.
What a beautiful songwriter. One of my
What a
best
beautiful
friends in the
soul.
world, too, man.
I just don't have enough good things to say about that guy, and I don't know him very well. Just done some shows with him and had a few of the after the show conversations. But my wife and I love everything that he does, and he just
phenomenal.
emanates and just oozes just spiritual goodness, man. Just beauty, just such a beauty in his voice and his writing, and you do it absolute justice. So that's awesome.
Well, thanks. I'm lucky that he actually cut that after I did on one of his records. So I was lucky that he let me cut that first, man, because that's not one that I figured people would, a good songwriter would want to give that away. So very cool of him to do that, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone said that you're starting, or you and I discussed you're starting a tour after this. I guess now you were going to probably do it during the quarantine. You're going to tell us about the tour. It's called the Way Things Used to Be tour.
Yep.
Playing a bunch of old stuff, right? Tell everybody what that. I think this is a really cool idea.
Well, the blessing is that we've been playing for over 20 years, and we have a lot of albums and been a part of a lot of albums, and every time, as you know, when you put out a new record and you write new songs, those are the songs you want to play, and you want people to hear them, and you get super excited about them, and they're like a little kid, and you just want people to to hear what's going on, and so you play the new stuff, and there's every so often a song or two off of each record becomes something they want to hear, and hopefully it'll go into the set list. But for the most part, the stuff that we did in the very beginning, those first couple of records, 3 or 4 records, were filled up with the songs that a lot of our fans wish we were still playing. And so, you edge towards trying to incorporate everything. And again, what a blessing, man. I remember when we first started out, I was sitting with my buddy Ryan Lynch opening up for Merle Haggard and at Hang 'em High Saloon in Austin. And we're sitting there and we're writing up the set list, and it's like cover song, cover song, cover song, original, cover song, cover song, cover song, original. And it was a big deal to us that we got to put originals in there. But I was laughing, and I said to him, "Wouldn't it be cool the day that we can fill up this with originals, and we have to handpick the cover songs because we don't have enough room for all of them?" And we both were like, "Yeah, that's going to be a cool day." So now it's like we're trying to figure out how to incorporate the songs that the fans have been asking for. And so we just decided we're going to go back and just really focus on the first 3 or 4 records. So we asked everybody what they wanted to hear, and they wrote in, and we kind of took essentially like the top 25 to 50 requests, and we made the set list essentially out of what everybody has asked for. So that's what it is, man. We're playing all the old stuff. We brought back in fact, instrument wise, we brought back in Glenn Shankel to play steel and dobro, as you know.
Great player,
and,
yeah.
Electric guitar, and just it's been a blast. The band's really loving it, and I'm really loving it, and it's fun to go back and see the way that you wrote and to hear the words and the thought processes. And I have the memories, with the lyrics, thinking about, oh yeah, I wrote that because I was in this frame of mind, and oh, I remember that person. And it's really kind of a cool walk down memory lane. And to top it all off, we get to be a part of the soundtrack of people's lives, and they tell us that they listen to that song when they were on the river, or they listen to that song when they were on their way to a wedding or in a wedding. And man, what an amazing honor to be a part of people's lives like that, and to walk with them through all the experiences that they go through. So that's what it is, man.
Yeah, and when were you supposed to start that?
That was happening like pretty much right when everything hit.
Okay,
we
you were
had
about
done,
to
I
do
think,
it.
one show. We had done one show where we did it, or 2 shows, and it was so much fun. It was great. I can't wait to get this kind of the veil lifted and be able to get back out and do it, because it's probably have to go and rehearse again because I forgot them all. But
yeah, and it's cool to do something like that, because as you know, for somebody that's been in this scene and a huge part of this scene for so many years, you get into the repetition of just playing your show after show after show with your band, and nothing wrong with that. But it is, we're not like most scenes where you go off the road for a few months,
right,
revamp and get your new show together and then go back on the road. We don't have that time. We're always on the road. So it's pretty cool, I bet, to almost put a show together like that. That's kind of like you took a break for a while and now you've put together this whole new thing. I can't imagine how fun that is.
It was very, very much like that. It's surreal. But my roots were really kind of in like rock and roll, and so the country thing was something I sort of clasped onto in college, and then started learning country songs and realizing that I could play those a lot easier than I could play Led Zeppelin riffs, and could probably pull off singing a song by John Denver easier than I could pull off a Robert Plant song. And so everything started going that direction when I started writing. And I've sort of, over the years, kind of been writing more towards, I don't know, pop or whatever, but I've sort of moved a little bit away from a two-stepping type of music. And so the dance halls don't really work for us with the set list that we've been playing. And so this is kind of another opportunity to go back to the roots of the country music two-stepping songs that we wrote in the beginning, and be able to play the dance halls, and people will come out and dance and get into it in that fashion. So it is it is definitely fun.
That sounds like a blast. I would love to see that show. I'm going to try to make it out, man. Would you mind playing one? I'd love to hear
man.
one that from that group of songs that you weren't real sure maybe if you were going to go back and visit it, but one that kind of blew you away now that you're playing it again.
Oh, well,
Or whatever
there's,
you want.
let me see if I can pull it off. It's More Than Perfect. It's kind of a love song, and I think if you say blew me away, I think the part that blew me away is when the band that we have now started playing it in the live feel of having all the instrumentation doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I'm very much I like to kind of go off the cuff and just go crazy and have fun, and I like everybody to kind of do their own thing. But when everybody plays the parts that they're supposed to play from the record, there is something kind of cool about that I've kind of taken for granted. So that's been really fun to be playing this one. So I'll give it a shot.
Cool, man.
But I don't ask too much. No, I don't. Do I ask too much of you? I don't complain. No, I don't. Do I ever complain to you? You put up well with this beast that I am in a cell. Oh, I got to go. Spending time on the road passing through. You try to look perfect for me, but you don't understand that you're more than perfect to me. Oh, I wish that you could see you're more than perfect to me, and you're all I ever needed you to be. You're all I needed you to be. Well, I drink too much, and I'll write you a poem or two. Oh, and then I'll get lost, and I'll fumble around in the blues. You still do well with this beast that I am in a cell. Oh, let me explain. They don't come any better than you. You try to look perfect for me. You try to look perfect for me, but you don't understand that you're more than perfect to me. Oh, I wish that you could see you're more than perfect to me, and you're all I ever needed you to be. You're all I needed you to be. Well, love has found me dancing with you in the dark, and love has bound me to forever serve your heart. And you try to look perfect for me, but you always look perfect to me, and you don't understand that you're more than perfect to me. I wish that you could see you're more than perfect to me, and you're all I ever needed you to be. You're all I needed you to be.
Love it, man.
Thanks,
Good
man.
stuff.
That's
Good
fun.
stuff.
Thanks, brother.
It's crazy how many, when I was digging through a lot of your catalog, getting ready for this, I tried to prepare and not just show up. It's amazing how many of those older songs I forgot about. They were, I loved, when I first started writing songs, man, they really were, it was really, really inspiring for me to what you were doing and still do to this day. But it was really cool. It's cool to hear. That's why I'm really, I'm a fan first of music, and I love great songs and great songwriting, man. So I'd love to hear I'd love to hear that show, man, that you're doing when we come back. I'm gonna try to find a way to make it out. What's the tour called again?
The Way Things Used to Be.
Way Things Used to Be tour. I know you can't wait.
Well,
man.
I imagine we'll be meeting up at some point along the way and playing some shows together.
I hope so.
I like that.
So we did this last week. Can you see this?
I can. Are you selling that to somebody, to me?
Yeah, that's just what you want. So Wade's World Guitar, right?
It is. I mean, look at this, man. I've got an empty spot. There.
Replace that black one right there. Yeah.
No. You can't have the black one.
So what we're
I'll give you
doing,
the
we did
kids'
this
guitar.
last week. Anyone that gives a donation tonight at all through the virtual tip jar of any kind, anyone that gives money or buys anything from my merchandise store, you'll be entered in to win an autographed Wade's World guitar, personalized. So we had a winner last week. Forgot who it was. I can't remember who they pulled out. But random winners, if you donate, we've had people that donate $2, and we've had people that donate $1,000. So once again, we're doing all of this for. Thanks, Brock.
I'll
I
do a
hope we're back there.
DocuSign autograph on it.
There you go. I'll get you to sign one whenever we can hang out again.
It's really cool, man. I love what you're doing, and I love that it's going to the musicians and the crew, and it's crazy to think about how many people, not just in our industry, but the entertainment industry all together, like races and baseball games and football and all the college sports and just everywhere. It's like, we're all out of work. It's nuts.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? I mean, our kids will be telling their grandkids about this time, and
Yeah.
But I do think there's a lot of good. If you choose to find it, there's a lot of good that can come out of this time, and I'm hoping that people see that. Actually, that's a good time to play this one. Had somebody ask for this one. I get people asking for this one every week, and I can see why. I haven't been repeating a whole lot of songs, just trying to keep it fresh for people. But this one actually goes out to Kinsey. Let's see if that's right.
Have you gotten anything in there that you should let me know about?
Oh, yeah. I'll get there. Kinsey and San Angelo. This goes out to you and everybody that's going through all this right now and needs a little pick-me-up. This one, Cory, I don't have a whole lot of up-tempo, happy, fun songs. So I tell people to enjoy this one while they can, She blew in from out of town, Georgia tags and a ragtop down, turning heads in the neighborhood, half down home, half Hollywood, looking good. She had too much rent and hold of cash, and a blue tick hound that she called Nash. Sent a postcard home with the Ocean View. Yeah, just got here, mama, I miss you. Well, she prays every night when she wakes, every morning. The sun shines on a dream. After they climbed on to the carousel, now they're sitting up there on top of the world, with their arms wide open to the sky. Well, you gotta dream if you wanna fly. Well, you gotta dream if you wanna fly. Oh, ain't that right? Yeah, the sun shines on a dreamer, shines a light on you when you listen to your heart. The sun shines on a dreamer. Oh, shines a light on you through the dim, through the dark. Yeah, the sun shines on a dreamer. Yeah, shines a light on you when you listen to your heart. Yeah, the sun shines on a dreamer. Yeah, shines a light on you through the dim, through the dark.
Oh, I love that one, man. I remember the first time I heard it on the radio.
Thanks.
That's just-
I don't get
that's
many of
just
those happy ones, so I tell people to
fun,
enjoy
man.
it. Yeah. It's hard not to want to sing along or play along because it's good,
I
man.
put the mute button on so nobody would hear my awesome solos.
Yeah, that's smart. I want to sing along and play along every week, and it's so hard. I mean, this is cool for me. I get a front row show, you know, for my buddies and people that I love, and I want to sing along and play along, and there's too much of a delay to do that.
Right. But this is really cool what you're doing, and these kind of things. I just tell people like take this chance to pick up the phone, and call somebody that you've been thinking about. Like I feel like the Lord puts people on your mind and on your heart for a reason, and when you keep having somebody pop up in your brain, and you just don't pick the phone up to call them in, you're missing it. And so just do it. Get over that angst or whatever that worry is, and just pick the phone up. Like so many people need to hear your voice, and they need to hear that they're loved, and I just think this is such a beautiful time to reach out to people and to really dig into what matters the most, man, and connect with your family. And you can hear about all the stats of terrible things, but I hear more about the stats of people that I see people that I've never seen, like walking around holding hands in the neighborhood, and it's like there's just something beautiful happening.
That's really cool.
So, I love
Yeah,
it.
I agree. I think there's a lot of good that's coming out of this craziness, if you can imagine that.
It is.
And,
I mean, financially, who knows what's going to happen? Business-wise, who knows what's going to happen? But these are the things that don't really matter in the short. What do they say? That our life is but a mist, and then it's over. And it's like, think about that. And what people aren't going to remember your name, and they're not going to remember my name, and or the things that we did, here and there, or the money that we made, or the house that we had. They're gonna, they're gonna hopefully remember that there was love coming out of you, and that you were helping spread that and being kind and generous and doing something that threw them off a little bit because you just went out of your way to serve somebody, and like what you're doing with this show. I love it, man. We're honored to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for being, it takes just as much to show up to this as it does to host it. So I appreciate you and your time. We're Wade's World. We're at Wade's World from my home here in New Braunfels, Texas. The ultimate Quaranstream is what we're calling it. Just having fun with buddies and talking music, talking shop, talking about the quarantine, talking about whatever we can find to talk about. And this week's guest is Cory Morrow, one of my favorites, and he's a fantastic singer-songwriter. And love to hear another song, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna do another older one. This is a sort of a. So speaking of the older, like the more country feel, this is one that I don't really write like anymore. So it's kind of fun. This has been a fun one to be playing as well. It's called Not Coming Home Tonight. And we renamed it Not Leaving Home Tonight. So for the Quaranstream. Not coming home tonight. I'll be out till the morning light. Not coming home tonight, 'cause I'll be out loving you. I see a rendezvous inside, and you're sure looking good tonight. I'm not coming home tonight, 'cause I'll be out loving you. Cotton gown torn from the miles that she had spent on the road. A subtle look, a seductive smile. I just can't let that lady go. Oh no, I just won't let that lady go. I'm not coming home tonight. I'll be out till the morning light. I'm not coming home tonight, 'cause I'll be out loving you. I see a rendezvous inside, and you're sure looking good tonight. I'm not coming home tonight, 'cause I'll be out loving you. Yeah, I'll be out loving you. Hey, I'll be out loving you.
Love it, man. Good stuff.
One verse. That's so much fun. I heard a Merle Haggard song, and I was like, I listened back to it again, and it was like, there's only one verse in that song. Like, all right, I can write a song with one verse.
Yep.
And then Stoney took it a whole step further and wrote a song with one chord. So I mean,
One
that's
chord,
pretty
yeah.
awesome. Pretty awesome.
Talented guy.
Very talented.
one chord the whole song.
I mean, but he makes it sound like it's it's huge. And you've had the names that you named off that you've had so far. That's an amazing company to be in. It's just some of my very favorite guys in the scene.
Yeah, it's been cool to talk to everybody and get their thoughts on this time. And just like I said, this is fun to talk music and talk shop. It's really been fun.
What were your influences when you're younger, when you got into it, and now have they changed or have they stayed the same? Do you still listen to the same stuff you listened to 20 years ago?
Oh no, man! I had two older sisters. I have two older sisters, one younger, and my two older sisters were dragging me around to late '80s, '90s countries. Our Alabama, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, Travis Tritt. They were. My first concert ever was an Alabama concert, and so that was kind of what I started listening to. And then as I started getting into songwriting is when I started listening to more Guy Clark and Waylon and Willie and those guys. And then as my career came along, then Springsteen, who I'd not really been a fan of. I'd liked his stuff, but I hadn't really been a huge fan. When I heard the Rising record, and it completely changed my life forever. And
yeah, man,
that record, and then dove into the entire catalog of Springsteen, and just still floored. I named my son Bruce, for crying out loud. I became a huge fan of his, and yeah.
Have you seen that movie, Blinded by the Light?
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Man, I'm with you. Was the Rising the one he wrote after 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what grabbed me. like no other albums ever grabbed me. I listened to every song over and over again and was just like trying to figure out what he was saying because I knew it was speaking to what had been going on. And I felt like I didn't quite go as deep as you did, but I started listening to his other stuff as well. And
yeah,
man,
revamped his whole career.
That guy's incredible.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
man. That really revamped his whole career and just got him on a different path. You know, the continuing a successful career that was already crazy. It just got bigger. I think he's as big now as he's ever been. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Sorry to get off on a Springsteen tangent. What about you?
Hey, no, we can do it all night.
What were your influences?
It's kind of funny. When I was in junior high, I really didn't have anybody kind of teaching me anything, and so I was listening to. I was watching TV, and they had a commercial come on, songs of the '50s, like Charlie Brown and goofy songs like that. Hang on, Sloopy, and so I talked my mom into letting me buy the cassettes. It was like 3 or 4 cassette tapes, had all the songs on them. And so I'm driving around listening to that stuff. And a buddy of mine was like, what are you listening to? I'm like, this is cool 50s music. And he goes, this is crap. Dude, I can't let you listen to this anymore. So he went and made a mixtape because those were popular back in the 80s. And
oh yeah,
it had Cream. It had The Who. It had Zeppelin. It had the Rolling Stones. It was just all classic rock and some of the best stuff on this mixtape. And I listened to it over and over and over again, and I just fell in love with that music. And then I bought the first 4 Led Zeppelin cassettes, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that was all I listened to through high school. Man, I bought and listened to every single cassette album that Zeppelin had. From 9th grade to 12th grade, and just was a total lead head. And then got a little bit into Jerry Jeff and Willie, just sort of along the way. My parents were heavy into the Houston rodeo, so Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and all that stuff that was going on in the 80s and 90s. That was one of the biggest
gigs in the world.
Yeah.
Houston Rodeo, one of the biggest gigs there is.
Well, exactly, and they were on the committees and stuff, so we got to go to a bunch of shows, and so Alabama, like you said, and all that. And Alan Jackson, I was loving that too. So it's been a nice, cool mix. But Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, there was a record there that I wore completely out, and that was a really big influence as well. So it's sort of been a nice mix of rock and roll and country, I think. So
yeah, man.
And it changes. Today it's more of a there's a band called Need to Breathe. Those guys.
Oh yeah. I saw them last year. Incredible band.
Whitewater. Did you go to Whitewater?
No, I saw them. They were doing their full band acoustic thing, and Sean McConnell opened up, and I went and hung out with Sean.
I'm sorry I missed that one.
It was at the Tobin Center here in San Antonio, the HEB Performance Hall, the Tobin Center. It's a beautiful theater.
I remember I was ticked off that for some reason we couldn't make that one, but those guys are they're it for me. Like that's all I want to. They're incredible. Emulate. I just think what they're doing is just so beautiful, and I just love the spirit of it. So music is it's pretty awesome, man.
Hey, I hate to do this to you, but it's become a Wade's World tradition to have virtual shots. So I know you don't drink, so I won't insult you. So you're prepared for this, right?
Yeah, I'm ready for your shot, dude. I see your shot,
and I'll race you. Did you just drop one?
That's all right. There's 4 in a package.
Party foul.
I see your shot, and I raise your
you
peanut
spilled
butter
your
cup.
shot. Hey, here's to everybody out there. Virtual shot time. They've been wearing me out about it. There's been demands. You got to do it. It's time for the virtual shot. So thank you all for tuning in to Wade's World every week. We truly love doing this. I got some really cool people that make me look and sound awesome that I convinced to come hang out with me. And I convince you guys to come hang out. 3,000 to 4,000 every single week. And just means a lot. Happy Friday night to all you and your families. We love and care for you, and stay safe. Let's do a shot. Cheers, everybody. Woo! Woo! This moment of silence brought to you by vodka.
I'm gonna say that one.
So this is, someone asked, we were talking about influences, and since you brought it up, someone was asking, let's see, I can't remember who asked for this, but someone did ask me to play, they said they know that I'm a Springsteen fan, so they want me to play some Springsteen. I'm actually going to play one that probably most people don't know, but this is actually my favorite Springsteen song, or top 3. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
Met her at a friendly little bar down along the coast. She said it was her birthday, so we had us a nice little toast. Drove around for a while, smoked a few cigarettes. Took her back to my place, she slipped off a party dress. Sat for a while on the edge of the bed, just talking. Loose change in my pocket. Loose change in my pocket. Got a pint in my boot and I'm driving for a drink and a dance. Sitting on the next stool, miss a little time on her hands. Yeah, I knew that she was trouble, but trouble sure was looking fine. When I held her close, what I knew kinda slipped my mind. All I hear is the calling. Loose change in my pocket. Loose change in my pocket. Well, I'll wait for another night to get through. Stars are loaded and the blackboard so far away. Blue. Now I'm sitting at a red light, feel something ticking way down. The night's moving like a slow train crawling through this shithole town. Got my bags packed in the back and I'm trying to get going again. Red just goes to green and green goes to red, and then all I hear is the clock on the dash tick-tocking. Loose change in my pocket. Loose change in my pocket. Loose change in my pocket. Loose change in my pocket.
Nice.
Bruce Springsteen song. It's
What
obscure.
album
It's
was
on.
that?
It was actually never made a record. It was on. You remember he released a box set called Tracks. It was all a bunch of songs that he never put on records. And I couldn't
Nice.
believe when I heard that song that it never made a record. Like, how do you write that song and not think it's good enough to put on a record? Blows my mind. But I guess that's Springsteen for you.
Didn't,
All right.
I heard Bruce Bruce Robinson. Not Bruce Robinson. Vince Gill. They're both tall.
Yeah.
Vince Gill did
Which
that.
I'm not.
He did like 72 songs that he'd never recorded or something crazy like that.
Oh man,
I'm way off. I don't know what it was, but
it's amazing. I love that guys do that. They have the catalog to do it. I mean, that's quality songwriting right there. That you have so many throwaways that you want. 20 years later, you make a record out of it. So
the cutting room floor album.
yeah, I don't have that luxury. I have a few here and there, but we're at Wade's World here, the ultimate Quaranstream, here from my home in New Braunfels, Texas. My guest this week is Cory Morrow. He's a fantastic singer-songwriter from Houston, Texas, now living in Austin, Texas. Got a beautiful family, beautiful wife, beautiful 5 kids, just a beautiful human being. Man, he's a beautiful man. Let's look at him. He's a beautiful man. But he's always been so kind to so many people, and I appreciate you tuning in. You can donate money to the virtual tip jar, wadebowen.com/tip or tips. And feel free to give money. We're donating a portion of the proceeds tonight to help Cory Morrow and to help Music Cares. And we're giving away a free guitar for anyone that gives a donation tonight on PayPal or Venmo. And we're giving away a chance to win a free guitar by anyone that buys anything from our merch store. So check that out as well. Go to CoryMorrow.com and buy his merch as well. It's really a tremendous way to help the artists right now. And speaking of other artists, Cory, if you mind to take a few minutes here, I've been featuring some friends, some other artists. It's impossible to get all the people that I want on the show, and especially since we're not getting everybody to the house. So I've been wanting to feature some singer-songwriters that are in the same boat as us, struggling, no matter what level you're doing, or no matter whether you're a drummer or a bass player or guitar player or steel player or fiddle player or anything. Right there, everybody's struggling right now, and so we want to feature, maybe give everybody out there watching Wade's World a chance to see somebody new and different and turn them on to something cool. We get asked a lot who we're listening to during these times. This is a chance for me to do that. This guy actually, it's a great story, and I've been trying to play this video for the last few weeks, and I could never get it to work. So I want to apologize to Aaron Stevens. But Aaron was, back when I had vocal surgery a couple years ago, I got cleared by the doctor to come back and play music, he wouldn't allow me to sing a 90-minute show. He said, your voice is not going to allow you to do that. If you could find a way to sing 40 minutes and just let the band jam or whatever you can find to not sing more than 40 minutes a night, I'll let you come back and sing. And I was broke trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And we came up with the idea to bring my son, Bruce, out on the road on the bus with us, and he sang a few songs every night, which was amazing. And then this guy came out. He was one of the guys that came out and rode around with us, and I think he's got a tremendous voice. He is a sweet, sweet guy, and I just root for him in every way, shape, or form, and I'm forever in debt for what he gave to us and my family and saving my ass in a time when I really needed it. So, Cory, take a break for a second. This is our good friend, Mr. Aaron Stevens.
Hey, Wade's World, this is Aaron Stevens. So I'm called whenever you call me. If you didn't want me then, why would you want me now? The fire you had within is burning out somehow, and I can't be a spark, no, I can't be a flame, but I still come whenever you call my name, yeah, you call me baby. I know that it isn't fair, I know it isn't right. You are always there on the back of my mind, and I can't shake these feelings off my brain, and I'll still come whenever you call my name, call my name. When you call my name, baby. When you call me late at night, when my guard is down and I'm not thinking right. It's so easy to fall for your charm. Whenever you call me, baby. Whenever you call me, baby. Yeah, yeah. Hey, thanks, y'all.
All right, that's Aaron Stevens, and I encourage you to check his stuff out. He's incredible, incredible dude, incredible singer, and really forever in debt for him for coming out on the road with us and playing some music. It was fun. Our band really had a great time and having him out. So hopefully we can do that again under better circumstances. Cory Morrow is our guest this week on Wade's World. Thank you for tuning in to everybody, the Ultimate Quaranstream. We're live from my home here in New Braunfels, Texas. And I want to thank, there's a group of people that make this thing work week after week. And it's a great group of people. John Coker, Scott Kernahan. These guys deal with Jennifer Boise, Mackenzie Floyd, people that make this thing happen for me, because I'm not a high-tech redneck, the furthest thing from it. But we try to make this happen, and I hope it's really fun. I love seeing the comments of everybody saying, I mean, this we look forward to Friday night. Come on, get here Friday night. We love this. We cried around the TV with our families and our date night or whatever it may be. It means so much to us that you do that, and that you're a part of it, our lives, and we're a part of yours. It just means so much, especially right now in these times. Thanks for being such incredible people to us and fans to us and loving the music. We just, during this time, we try not to take for granted. I never try to take for granted my career and getting to do this with my life as my quote-unquote job. But during these times, you start to really, even more so, not take them for granted and really embrace that you have people that care enough to tune in and care enough to buy the merch and care enough to just be a part of our lives too. So we appreciate y'all supporting what we love to do with our lives. That's the way I like to put it, because we love it. I want to remind people today we had a new song. This record, I got a record coming out with my buddy Randy Rogers. Hold My Beer Volume 2 is coming out. Cory, you're familiar with this. You and Pat have done some great stuff as well. So you're familiar with the Buddy Projects. This is ours. This is a vinyl that is available.
That's probably the best one out there.
Let's see. Can I get it right?
Little lower. There you go.
There we go. That's it. Those
y'all
suits
look
are
good,
made by
man.
Manuel,
Those are some nice suits.
the world famous Manuel. And
Nice.
I've got these vinyls at my house right now. All these vinyls at my house, all these CDs at my house. So I'm going to sign them all and then take them over to Randy's and drop them on his porch so he can sign them. Go to randyandwade.com it's a different merch store from Randy and I's individual merch stores. Not to be confusing, but it is. But we do have a separate website called randyandwade.com where you can buy bundles and buy Hold My Beer. We have a new song that came out today, streaming, called Rhinestoned, that I encourage you to check out. It's a great tribute to traditional country music. Makes you want to drink and dance. Isn't that what country music's all about? Drink and dance.
Indubitably.
Oh, man. So you got a single out right now that you've been working?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
It's called Always and Forever.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And
I'm glad you
I
know
had
that.
a lot of people asking for that. Actually, a lot of people requesting it. So you think you can pull it off? And if not, it's okay.
I'll give it my best shot.
Sorry to throw you under the bus here.
That's perfect. I'm here, man. I'm here all night. My one of the twins was crying because his sheet came off the bed. So it's a
Oh, that's why you had to go.
catastrophe. Yeah.
Hey,
catastrophe,
before you start this song, there's a lot of people asking, "Are you barefoot right now?" That should be your next. That should be your next album cover right there. We'll put that on the cover of Wade's World. Just your foot up in the air.
Somebody screenshot this.
Screenshot it.
So there's actually a picture of one of my foots on the Double Exposure album. One of my feet. One of my foots.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
One of my foots. One of my
That Reese's is getting to you.
That Reese's is pretty good. I've also been drinking coffee, so man, the kids are cracking me up, man. I told my wife just go ahead and wake them all up and tell them to come on in here.
Man, that'd be incredible. I'd love to have them.
Nothing would happen. We'd get nothing done. You'd hear a bunch of half songs on the piano.
Man, my 14-year-old Bruce is playing piano, and it's really fun because I can't. It's fun to watch,
right,
and hear and listen. Sorry, go ahead with your song, man.
No, I think it's really cool. That's my wife and I. We want to start taking the same lessons that they're taking because it's an iPad. It's an app, and she's like, "You don't understand. They're like hours ahead, like hours and hours ahead." And I was like, "Well, while they're taking a nap,
all
or
we
they're
got's
doing the
time.
homework, Daddy can be in here and catch up."
What you got? Hey, when you settle in tonight or whatever, text me that app. I want to know what that is. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey, wouldn't that be cool if we both came out of this thing and we both could play some piano?
I'm just still working on the guitar part.
You're doing just fine. So this is the picking pattern was like Robert Earl Keen used it on I think it was Jennifer Johnson, and my buddy Ryan Lynch showed me how to do that picking pattern. I just sat around and played with it, and then came up with this idea for this song. And originally wrote it for my wife, who I met how many years after? 20 years later. 15 years later. No. I wrote it for a girl, and she dumped me. And so I said that I wrote it for my parents. So there it is.
Here's the truth.
I really wrote it for you, honey. She's over there looking. I need you, 'cause I love you, always, forever. And I love you, 'cause I've known you, always.
will be here, waiting, my dear, always and forever. I need you, 'cause I love you, always and forever. And I love you, 'cause I've known you, always and forever. Will the moon and stars, that old sun stretches far, shining for all to view, eternally bound, they light up the ground, never once being untrue. And you are for me that light which I need, always, forever. I need you, 'cause I love you, always and forever. And I love you, 'cause I've known you, always and forever. Always and forever.
God, that's beautiful, man. Beautiful. What is that finger
Dog is
picking
going
style called? Do you know?
What's that? I'm sorry.
What's that finger picking style called?
It's like a bluegrass picking style.
It's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's really fun. You get trying to mess around with it and try to. I just try to stay in tempo with the band while I'm playing. I always feel like I'm tempo challenged, but yeah, man, that's if you're learning and working on stuff. I don't know jazz chords, but I always thought that jazz chords would be really cool to learn. I
Yeah.
see Stoney and
I learned one the other day. It was this one.
See, it just sounds. That sounds like the '70s.
I gotta keep working. I think I played that one last week too.
Well, I think that's where it's at. I think the jazz
Yeah.
chords are where it's at.
Is your beautiful bride still hanging around?
She's sitting there. She's
Tell-
sitting there staring at me. That's what I was singing to.
Tell her to come on camera. We want to say hi to her.
He wants you to come on camera.
She's like, heck no.
She's in her pajamas. She says,
Even better.
"Go put her bra on."
Tell her I said hello.
Wade says hello, honey. Hi, Wade.
She's
Bring
a
the dog.
teacher, mother,
By trade.
wife,
By trade.
custodian. Oh, she's a
she-
teacher by trade.
By trade, yeah. When I met her, she was teaching in Houston at a school for the deaf education. So she's
Oh, cool.
bilingual. She's sign language, and so she was her degree at Stephen F. Austin was in education. Isn't that right, honey?
Ah, there
Hi,
she
Wade.
is. Hi. Now who's that?
I can't hear.
Oh yeah, she can't hear you. That's Betty Lou.
Betty Lou.
Betty Lou. Our
Golly.
first dog was Ellie Mae. Then we had Emma Jean, and this is Betty Lou. So you can see where this is going.
Yeah. Beautiful
Yeah.
dog.
He says, yeah. I'll make sure we're in screen. Good job, honey. You got us on screen. Right in the middle.
I had somebody bring up that I had not played this song yet. 5 episodes in, so
Give them what they need.
this one, yeah, give them what they need. That's what I'm trying to do on this deal.
It sounds pretty good so far.
Yeah. You like that? We released a record 2018 called Solid Ground that was really actually, you brought up Keith Gaddis earlier. Keith Gaddis produced the record, and I was really excited to work with a buddy on the record and write with Keith and some of his friends, and it just was a lot of fun making this record. And then right when it came out, my voice went down on me, so I feel like I think forever I'll feel like this record didn't get to be worked like it should have. You know, I don't know if it deserved any recognition or any praise, but I do know that I didn't get to work this and push it like I really wanted to, and so I'll forever be upset about that, I guess. But
Wonder.
I'll forever wonder. But Keith Gaddis is a great producer, great guitar player, great singer, and great songwriter.
He's one of my favorite people, man.
Yeah,
it's good. That's good peeps.
So this is my favorite track off that record. It was called "So Long 6th Street." So long, 6th Street. Yeah, I think it's time. All out of quarters to play. I'm all out of rhymes. Got a few strings. Gonna have to leave behind. Please don't load it against me. I think we both know why. Yeah, I think we both know why. So long, 6th Street. Gonna miss you under my feet. Well, sometimes I gotta run till I find a heartbeat. Tell it up when you see. Heard that I was too weak to look her in the eye. Hate her when she cries anyway. Well, anyway, I think she's probably better off without me. So long, 6th Street. Gonna miss you under my feet. Yeah, so long in tones. Oh, it's you I miss the most. I've stumbled on from your arms. How many times I just don't know. Maybe you can leave a light on in case I come back around. On my way to looking for me some lost and found town. So long, 6th Street. Gonna miss you under my feet. Well, sometimes I gotta run till I find a heartbeat. And tell it when you see. Heard that I was too weak. Yeah, to look her in the eye. Hate her when she cries anyway. Anyway, I think you're probably better off without me. So long, 6th Street. Well, sometimes I gotta run till I can find a heartbeat. And tell it when you see. Heard that I was too weak. Yeah, to look her in the eye. Hate her when she cries anyway. Well, anyway, I think she's probably better off without me. So long, 6th Street. Oh, thank you.
I can hear the neighbors making just crazy.
Can hear the neighbors howling.
They're just going crazy. Man, I love that. That's awesome. Did you write that with Keith?
Yeah, I wrote that with Keith, and it's one of those that I joke around and say, man, that's probably the reason my voice went out on me in 2018 is because that song is such an ass whooping to sing every night. But I love it.
You ever write songs that are just like out of your range and then record them that way, and then you're kind of stuck having to sing them and try to hit the notes?
That one. Every night I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Let's hope it works.
Oh man, I feel like I've over and over. I feel like that the definition of insanity is you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I feel like I do that over and over again. I record songs that are just way up there, and we get to the show, and it's like the band would be like, "Hey, let's play that one tonight." I'm like, "Huh? No,
No.
not tonight."
I got a couple of those, like Walking Along the Fence Line is one. If We Ever Make It Home is pretty high, but I kind of gotten used to that. But that So Long 6th Street is the hardest song I've ever written and recorded. As far as like
you nailed it.
Have to
do you
sing
tune
it.
down ever?
I tried, and it just frustrates me. It's so crazy how Half Step Down does not sound right to me. It just
Okay.
we try to play with the
Yeah.
band and everything. It just was like, it just does not sound right.
There is something about
It's weird,
when
right?
when you're playing with a band, the half step down. Sorry, my hairs are like trying to go up in different directions. I feel like they're going up into my nose. So, I'm 47 years old, and this is the first time I've ever tried to let this stuff grow on my face. But yeah, the band with the half step down does feel weird. Feels like something's missing. There's like an energy
Yeah.
that's missing. Now,
Yeah, it's
slow
weird,
songs, right? I think it's fine. Certain songs, but I'm with you. Like when you're trying to rock, or when you're just trying to play, it just feels like there's just something not there. It just doesn't quite have it.
Just slightly off enough to make you frustrated.
Right. The last album that we did, almost the entire thing was a half step down, and
wow.
I specifically did it because I felt like I was losing that upper range, and I didn't want to go into the studio and struggle to hit the notes, and so we did the whole thing, and it actually enabled me to sing what sounds like really, really high notes, but they're actually lower than normal. But when we play live, we play normal. So I kind of shot myself in the foot because I recorded it a half step down where I could hit the notes, but then when we play live, it's at 440, and it's like, now I really have to hit the notes.
Yeah, which song is that?
The whole record.
Oh, the whole
Whiskey
record,
and
yeah.
Pride. Whole record, yeah. Makes it fun.
Man, I just wanted to ask you. You're a guy we were talking about earlier how you've been doing this a long time, and I think it's really cool when you talk to people and talk to artists that have been playing music for 20-something years. I mean, that's such an honor to be able to do it that long. There's not, I believe you're in the rarity of artists and people that can stay relevant for 20 plus years and have a career and have a great career and do well. I'm just curious, do you think about that much, and do you have any kind of reasoning or any kind of thought of as to how you think that you've maintained such success and such a great career after 20 plus years of playing music?
Man, I think about it every day. Like, I think I said earlier, I wake up. I really like to wake up on January 1st and look out, walk outside, kind of look around, and just kind of look up, and I just kind of pray for a second and say, do I get to do this again, do I get to go for one more year? And I just try to take it each day at a time, and I'm just blown away, man. I'm blown away that I get to play music for a living, that we get to do this, we get to entertain people, and I don't know what success is to people. I feel like it's generally, there's a general concept of what it is around culture, but about almost 8 years ago, I had a big life change, and And so my whole world kind of got flipped upside down, and that's when I found the Lord, and that's when everything really started taking, kind of knocking everything in our world down to the foundation, and then started building up. And it made me re-examine what's important, and it made me re-examine the word success is a beautiful success. But the opportunity now, instead of going out and wanting it to be all about the songs that I'm writing and the attention to be on me, I'm trying to go out and just share the love that I've found and talk to people about that. And I get excited about going to the merch table after the show and talking with people about Jesus and just talking to them about what matters. And so the definition's changed for me over the years, but I'm just grateful, honestly, that I get to keep doing it. And it taking the importance of it off of my shoulders, like it's all about me, and I have so much a responsibility to maintain, what's the word I'm looking for, to be relevant, to take that responsibility off my shoulders and to just give it to God and say, I'm gonna go out and do whatever it is you want me to do today, and to go out and serve people just changes the atmosphere for me. And so I'm just grateful, just deep down in my heart, man. And so that's
cool.
really where I try to keep my focus.
Yeah, and you quit drinking how many years ago now?
On that day.
2 years ago?
No, on the day it was September 24th, 2012.
2012. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's a long time. And
I drank for a long time. I drank.
You made up for it.
I drank enough.
Well, I think it's such a great thing, man. I'm gonna put my drink down. I was about to take a drink. I'm gonna put my drink down after this.
Don't, man.
But it's such a credit to be able to do that in this business. I admire the fact that you can do that and that you enjoy that, and that you found a way to have a change of heart with your career and do that. I mean, I look at BJ Barham from American Aquarium, who did the same thing, and he's a tremendous human being. Strength runs through him like oak wood, and same with Jason Isbell. Those guys have really made no secret and that they used to be tough and hard to handle when they were drinking, and that they really changed their lives by sobering up. And so, I'm proud of you, man. I think there's a lot of people out there that commend you for it.
I think that the sobering up was really just a symptom of the deeper rooted problem, and that's on that day that I made the decision to figure out what it was all about. I just looked at myself in the mirror and was like, the root of a lot of the problems in my life was started with drinking. If I drank, I'd go do drugs. If I drank, I'd go chase women. If I drank, I'd lie. And it just got into this pattern of destructive behavior. And at the root of it all was drinking. But there was an even deeper root that I had to go dig into. So, but
it takes a lot of strength, man, to do that. So.
Well, it's been. I didn't know what I was going to do, honestly, when I first got out there and started playing. Like, trying to play sober was really weird. And trying to talk to people sober was really weird. You're in a bar and everybody's half drunk, and I'm just like, what? It's like surreal. And it took a while to kind of get used to it and to be able to navigate those waters. But now I have more fun than I've ever had. And there's no judgment. I don't even try to bring it up. I'll try to have a club soda with lime or something so that people don't really think. I don't take. They'll bring beers up or something, and I'll hand them out to the band, whoever's drinking in the band. But that's not my focal point. Like the fact that I don't drink, so I don't really give it much attention.
Well, it's been a long time, and you're over it by now. It's part of your life to not drink.
Yeah.
Why bring it up? Talk about it.
It does take a little bit. No, it's fine. I mean, I love to talk about whatever people want to talk about. I'll go on about it as long as people want to go on about it. Because the truth is, the decision was easy. The decision was my family and my life. And so to quit drinking in order to save that was a simple choice. Stopping doing it and having everything in my life for 40 years be focused on this, idea of partying and trying to be the center of attention. That took a lot, and it took a lot of time and a lot of prayer and a lot of work. And so just trying to figure out who I am without all that stuff was a real challenge, but it's been an amazing journey. My wife has been with me every step of the way. So
yeah, she's an incredible woman, man.
Yeah,
I really enjoy getting to know her better, and y'all got a great thing going, man. I'm proud of you. So
thank you, brother. Thank you.
Someone asked what my favorite song was of yours, and and I love that question. I try to answer that every week if I can. I love that people ask that because like I say, I am a fan of music first before anything else. I really love your version of "I'll Go On Downtown," and I also love "Love Me Like You Used To." Won't you love me like you used to do? Right. Yep. So I would say either one of those. I love a lot of your songs, but those probably are my two favorites. So I'll do dealer's choice on which one you want to play.
Well, they're both in D, so that makes it easy. That's cool, man. That's actually when Justin Pollard played drums with Pat for a long time, was really kind in his words, and said that was one of his favorites as well. Glenn Schenkel and I wrote that together.
Really? Oh,
actually,
that's great.
Yeah, we were at Cedar Creek and with Lloyd, and I had written just kind of like the idea of it, and I didn't have any of the verses or anything, and Glenn went out to his van, came back, and he was like, "What do you think about this?" And I'm like, "I love it. That's awesome." So,
and for those out there that don't know, Glenn Schenkel is a great, fantastic musician, steel guitar guy, and he's actually been playing with us periodically on the Hold My Beer tour that we take out, because finding a great steel guitar player is it's a lost art. It's hard to find, and the good ones are all taken up, and so Glenn's hard to get. So we always try to get him, and Jeff Queen as well. Great players, and you and I have started fighting over him now. But I want people to know they wrote this song with you. That's cool. I didn't know that, and
he's a really good writer.
I remember when you were playing, and he was in your band with Jessica Murray and all them. It was a really great time, and so I've always enjoyed having Glenn out with us.
Well, you got it, man. You nailed it. He's just a good spirit. So I'll do this one for you.
Right on.
Hold me back, but don't break my stride. Tell me the truth, don't tell me lies. I've been bad, but I'm so good to you. Won't you love me like you used to do? There's a passion burning in my veins. I feel it pulsing like a runaway train. The highway called me when I was 22. Back when you loved me like you used to do. And I miss your kiss in the morning light. I miss the warmth in your eyes. Well, I need you more than I ever knew. Won't you love me like you used to do? Won't you love me like you used to do? All right, do a delayed solo. Go away. Oh, it sounds amazing. Oh man, those lessons are paying off. On and on with the days they go by. Another blur from a city limit sign. I can't recall when I wasn't on the move.
Man, I've always loved that one. Always
Thank
been
you
one
so
of my
much, man.
favorites. Thank you very much for taking my request.
Thank you for giving it.
We're at Wade's World. We're on Wade's World, the ultimate Quaranstream, live from my home here in New Braunfels, Texas. We do have a virtual tip jar. Thank you for everybody that's been donating any kind of money. We really appreciate it, and it's been really fun to write that check to Music Cares every week. They're really, really thankful for it. So thank y'all for donating. You can go to wadebowen.com/tip, and it will take you to PayPal or Venmo where you can donate. You can also go to our website, our merch store, wadebowen.com, corymorrow.com. Buy the merch. That's the best way to help the artists right now, keep us afloat. And remember, anybody that purchases anything at my merch store or makes a donation will be entered to win a Wade's World personalized signed guitar. Thanks to our buddy from Graphic Guitar guys.
Graphic guitar guy.
I want to say happy 17th birthday to Ryan Walker. His mom sent it in, said they were all watching again tonight, and really appreciate him spending his birthday with us. You can text me, and that's where I got it. You can text me at 830-240-7978. 830-240-7978. And you can text me. I'm getting them right now, as you can see. These are my text messages, if you can see
So
that.
you can actually text you?
Yes. And I love it. It's been such a good time killer when I've been quarantined here, talking to fans and talking to people that become buddies and stuff. It's been really cool. So that's the number. Text me if you have questions for Cory, question for me.
What was you did the David Allan Coe song? For a
Oh
while.
yeah, please come to Boston.
Yeah, man. That there was just so many songs by him, and I love that you recorded that and made that your own.
Yeah, man.
Will you do that one?
Yeah. My dad took me to Billy Bob's, Texas when I was 8 years old, just to go in. He said we were just running around like in the afternoon in Fort Worth, and he took me to Billy Bob's. He said, "You just got to see Billy Bob's, boy. That's what you got to see the legendary Billy Bob's." And he said, "Let's go see, once we're inside, kind of roaming around, seeing the bull and everything." He said, "Let's go see who's playing tonight." And it was David Allan Coe.
Wow.
And he said, "You know who that is?" And I'm like, "No, I'm 8 years old. That's your job to introduce me to stuff." And we went and bought a CD, and we started listening to him singing every dang word to David Allan Coe's greatest hits. And this song my dad was actually he's the one who sings the song about mamas and trains and getting drunk. I'm like, well, I'm 8 years old, so I don't know that one yet, Dad. Maybe someday. But that was my introduction to David Allan Coe and to this song. And this song was written by Dave Loggins, and I think we lost it.
Oh, are we off?
Did we lose it?
Is that my fault?
Are we back?
Keep
We're
going.
back
Keep going.
now. We're back live. I have no clue. We're back. Hey, welcome to live TV, everybody.
It was hope.
Thank you, John. Welcome to live TV, everybody. I guess it got cut off. Started getting all these text messages. Everybody saying, "Hey."
You're gonna have to go back
The
in.
feed's gone. So
Please come to Denver.
okay, we're
You
good.
must
We're
have-
back. So I'll go back to start over. You ready? Please come to Denver. I won't start over. I'll just start the second verse.
Start the whole thing
Please
over 'cause
come
you
to
can't start it
Denver at the snowfall. Yeah, we'll move up into the mountains so far we can't be found. We'll throw "I love you" echoes down the canyon. said, hey, Ramblin' boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no road and there ain't nobody like me. I'm a number one fan of the man from Tennessee. Now this drum is well around, and I doubt if it's ever gonna stop. But of all the dreams I lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I just need to lean to somebody I can sing to. Well, won't you please come to LA to live forever? California life alone is so hard to build. I live in a house that looks way out over the ocean, and there's some stars that fell from the sky living up on the hill. Oh, please come to LA. She said, no, baby, you come home with me. Yeah, she said, hey, Ramblin' boy, why don't you settle down? LA ain't your kind of town. Ain't no road and there ain't nobody like me. Yeah, I'm a number one fan of the man from Tennessee. Whoa, from Tennessee. Please come to Boston. Please come to Boston. Minor interruption, but that's story of my career, Corey. Story of my career. Minor
You got-
interruption. Welcome to
It's a
live
song and
TV.
a half, man. Song and a half.
Thanks for everybody letting me know the feed was out. This thing is, I can't believe I would actually remember songs because I'm trying to like run all of this too, But thanks everybody for the heads up. It is live TV, so
How's the weather over there?
the weather is perfect.
Because that's usually what mine says. Internet connection is unstable.
Uh-oh.
And that just feels like my emotions, really.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that personal or not?
I feel like the computer's being very personal, serious.
It's
really
no, it's
poking
because
at
you're talking to me. That's what it is. Your
That's what-
your friend
that's
is
what it
unstable.
is.
That's what he's.
This show is unstable.
Hey man, I want to feature another buddy here, and then
Yeah, cool,
you got time to hang around a little bit longer?
dude. I ain't going anywhere. You're gonna have to kick me off.
Good. Thanks for the long haul, man. I know it's a long show, but I love doing
love
this, and I know there's a lot of people wanting to hear some more songs from you. And I want to come back on the other side of this and talk about your festival that your Go Wheels Up, and
Thanks,
and
man.
I hear you have some collaboration stuff coming up. So we'll talk about all that. We'll continue to talk about Cory Morrow, because we should. Once again, welcome to Wade's World. Thanks for tuning in. My guest this week is Cory Morrow, fantastic singer-songwriter originally from Houston, Texas, now Austin, Texas, and we're so glad to have him. Don't forget, the virtual tip jar tonight goes to help musicians of every kind, of every level, of every instrumentation. And I want to feature another buddy that I've been trying to feature the last few weeks, and I couldn't get the video to work. And I actually promised him I was going to play another one, but I chose this video last second. I actually this is a kid named Mason Lively that I think has got a lot of talent, and he asked me to help him produce a record, and so it's my second time to actually produce a record, and I did this with my buddy Justin Pollard, and it's been a lot of fun to be on the other side of making an album. Learned a lot, and Mason was very patient with us. But we made a great record, and it just got mastered, and I can't wait for the world to hear it. So this is my good buddy. Y'all don't forget to tip. It goes to Mason and everybody else out there struggling right now, all the musicians in the world. Y'all welcome my good friend, Mr. Mason Lively.
I'm breaking all my arrows. I'm cutting the string off the bow. I'm letting my guard down since you came round. I've chased a wild line so long. Now I'm just ready to move on. Darling, take me in. I'm worth saving, baby. Why did I take so much time finally opening up my eyes? So I gave you all my life now, every day and every night. When the sun trades places with the moon, I'm praying. If tomorrow I lose everything I own, I still have every little thing I want. So I'll mend these fences, I'd be senseless not loving you. You're the grace that I fell far from, but I'm changing. I have learned one thing's for certain: before he closes the curtains on second chances, they don't come cheap. And you deserve a man who's gonna give you everything that you need. So I'll give you all my life now, every day and every night. When the sun trades places with the moon, I'm praying. If tomorrow I lose everything I own, I still have every little thing I want. So I'll mend these fences, 'cause I'd be senseless not loving you. Ooh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Ooh, yeah, now. I'll give you all my life now, every day and every night. When the sun trades places with the moon, I'm praying. If tomorrow I lose everything I own, I still have every little thing I want. So I'll mend these fences, 'cause I'd be senseless. Oh, I'd be senseless not loving you. Darling, I'd be senseless not loving you. Thanks again, Wade's World.
I'm ready. I need a Nabisco sponsorship and a. What is Reese's? Who makes Reese's?
We're doing
Reese's?
All right, Corey, we're back.
Yes.
We're gonna do some
Yes. Let's do a shot.
some virtual shots, everybody.
Let's do a shot. Can I put this up and can we get like a suggestion for which shot?
Ooh,
Mega stuffed
let the fans vote.
or the pieces?
All right, viewers out there, which shot is he taking? Our family is keeping Oreos in business during this quarantine.
Nabisco.
It's an overwhelming
is just.
Oreo response.
I think what would really do it is making the mega stuffed a double mega stuff.
There you go. Man, my 11-year-old is, hopefully he's watching this. Oh yeah. Holy moly. That's true
That's a
love.
mega stuff.
It's a mega shot.
Mega.
Thanks, Cory Morrow. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and being a part of our Wade's World every week. We love you guys. Cheers.
Here's to you, Wade Bowen.
So smooth. How was that? That's probably actually worse than mine. Are you okay? That was a mouthful.
I feel like the
Let me talk
idea
for you?
far outweighs the activity. That was a good
That
idea.
is new. Oreo and Reese's shots are new to Wade's World. Thank you, Cory, for doing that.
Thanks for letting me play.
Man, we love having you. I wanted to talk about, explain to people a little bit about your is it a charity event or a music festival or both? All of the above. It's called Go Wheels Up.
Yeah, it's so we aren't a for-profit company, but we in our papers defining the company, we say at least 10% comes off the top to go to charities in that area where we're having the show. So the area that we're having the show is in San Marcos, and so the Chamber of Commerce in San Marcos has picked 2 or 3 main charities in their city, mostly child-related, education-related. So we definitely are giving back for those things.
Yeah.
And it's really just it's a music thing. It's a car thing. We say it's a oil-soaked heart. If you have an oil-soaked heart, then you're gonna love this place. It's a car
And
show.
it's brand new, right? A couple years old now.
Yeah, we had it last year for the first time, and it was supposed to be happening the last weekend of May of this year, and so it looks like we're probably going to push it back to 2021, to May of 2021. We're not 100% sure; just depends on how things go, but probably the fall is being a little bit too optimistic to try to put something together. But I'm not ruling it out. But it's a car show, it's an air show, and it's a food and music festival. So we're kind of taking a little bit of everything and putting it all in one place. It's at the San Marcos Regional Airport. There's 1 million square foot of concrete out there. We have a huge kids zone where we've got bounce houses and rides and slides and all kinds of fun stuff. So there's something to do for everybody. Beer and wine and liquor, all kinds of great cuisine. But I fell in love with cars when I was really young. And I became a gearhead, so to speak, because of my friend Brian Meadows. So I blame him 100% for everything that goes wrong in my life automotively, and everything that goes right. I blame him. But I just started loving to trade my golf clubs for wrenches, and just really fell in love with working on cars and figuring out how it all goes together and how it works. And then Clay Korn is a partner in it, and he plays piano, and he's a pilot. And so we just kind of got together, and it's been a blast. Just last year was amazing. We had an incredible show, an incredible turnout, and so we're just really pumping it up, man. I turned a 1990 Suburban into a hot rod, and we're just
Oh, that's cool.
just having a lot of fun, man. I know I know Cody and Shannon have some really cool cars. And I think
Yep.
probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I saw them at Whitewater, and she was showing me her new ride, and it was it was like a '67. I think it was what was it? It wasn't a Camaro, maybe a Camaro. But I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, that's really nice. But what about like a brand new one? And she goes, I don't roll that way. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. And then honestly, a couple of years later, I realized what it was that she was, her affinity for older cars. I got it. It just clicked, and I was like, oh, now I don't own anything that's newer than 2012, and we're just digging into the old stuff and we're retrofitting them with upgraded engines, transmissions, and suspension. So
And that's
making
cool.
them fun
That's a
to
great
drive.
hobby.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Shelby, my wife, is named after the Shelby because her dad
That's right.
used to race and was fantastic at it, loved it. It was a huge part of her growing up and huge part of his life as well. So,
Yeah.
um,
Are you a
yeah,
car guy, gearhead?
I'm not, man, but I wish I was. I love them. I wish I knew more about them, but maybe I'll come out to Go Wheels Up 2021 and learn a lot more.
Learn the hard way. Just buy an old clunker and start tearing it apart.
Yeah, my brother-in-law Cameron, who's watching right now, Cameron Goss, he married my youngest sister, and Cameron has the bug for that. He's got an old clunker that I say it's a clunker. It's a really good, really cool car, and he's into all that. It's pretty cool. So I kind of follow his lead. If I have any questions, I usually call him, or actually call Cody Kanda first, and then Cameron second probably, which happens to be both my brother-in-laws, which is perfect.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? You guys are really keeping it in the family.
Yeah, for sure. You want to play us another song, man?
Yeah, I was thinking about you were talking about Keith Gaddis, and this is really the first and only song that I wrote with him. So
Awesome.
I thought I'd play that. And this is actually this is a love song I wrote for my wife, like truly wrote for my wife, not for my wife before I met her.
I say my imaginary girlfriend.
Baby and me, we like to stay out late. We drink in bars and we roller skate. It's just the two of us, my baby and me. Morning comes and she's combing her hair. I'm staring at her in the mirror. She smiles and I see the reflection of my baby and me. Every morning, every day, every breath she takes mine away. She shines like the stars, oh, she flies through my heart. And I swear anymore, I just can't keep my eyes off of her. It's like nothing I've seen, this thing between the two of us, my baby and me. And sometimes we fight, and when we do, well, we make up all night. And oh, there's nothing so sweet as the light of the dawn on my baby and me. Every morning, every day, every breath she takes mine away. And she shines like the stars, oh, she flies through my heart. And I swear anymore, I just can't keep my eyes off of her. It's like nothing I've seen, this thing between the two of us, my baby and me. flies through my heart. And I swear anymore, I just can't keep my eyes off of her. It's like nothing I've seen, this thing between the two of us, my baby and me.
Man, it's beautiful. I love it,
Mostly
and love Keith Gaddis.
Yeah.
Man,
He wrote the chorus. Man, he just sat down. I played him like the first verse idea, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And he just went off into this chorus, and I was like, I guess that's what I should have done with it. That works. I like it.
he's
so fun, man.
sneaky like that, isn't he?
Don't you love writing with other people? Like, I mean, obviously
I
you got to
do.
have a connection, you know, and it's got to. I find that there's got to be you got to get to a place where your guard is down, you know, and you're totally comfortable with each other, and you kind of break through those walls. But man, once you can kind of get to where you're seeing eye to eye, and you're feeling comfortable enough to be vulnerable with each other, man, some beautiful stuff can come out of it. And I don't know if it's, you know, a hit, but I just love writing with other people.
Yeah, me too. I absolutely love it, and I love getting a different perspective on an idea that you have, that I have. I love introducing someone else to what's going on up here. It's kind of cool, and I'm pretty quick to let my guard down. For that reason, I've learned. I think at first, that's when you're not a co-writer, that's something that's hard to kind of get used to and acquire. But I've been doing it for so long. I truly love hearing other people's thoughts, and they always seem to bring something to the table that I would have never thought of on my own. And so, those are really cool moments for sure.
Yeah. Are you getting a bunch of requests coming in?
Yeah, man. Still getting a
What
bunch
do you
of
got?
them. I love how people are still paying attention.
I looked at the time, and I'm like, it doesn't even feel like it. You said 3 hours, and I wonder if we should do like a
it flies by, right?
telethon marathon type thing. And just go until they kick us off.
We're pretty
How
close,
long
I
can you
think.
play?
I don't know how long Facebook lets us play, but we're so glad everybody's tuning in. Once again, you're watching Wade's World, the ultimate Quaranstream. Someone text me.
Is that copyright trademarked right there? The ultimate Quaranstream?
I don't think so,
Oh, okay.
but it should be. Somebody's out there copywriting it.
You keep saying it, and I'm like, I wonder if there's like somebody who's got it, like, you know, as they're paying for the advertisement or something. Like, I love it.
No,
I love it. It's
no.
awesome. It's awesome.
We did copyright Hold My Beer and Watch This, though. Can you believe that was available?
That was smart.
Give a shout out. So I just got a text. Robbie Salamondo, give me a shout out to my daughter McKenna on her 11th birthday. Happy birthday. Someone asked for Big City Blues now that you brought it up.
It's probably Keith. I got
Lots of good stuff here. This is cool. So, I'm going to send this one out. This is one that I think I might have played a couple of weeks ago, but I love how one of my favorite things about the live stream is that there's people that normally would not be able to come to a show because of not being able to find a babysitter, and they're bringing their families. Like my friend Hunter Chase, his family's all watching every week. He just sent me a picture of him and his kids, you know, out by the fire doing s'mores and listening to this show. And that's what I've really loved, that people are bringing their kids and bringing their families in together to be a part of Wade's World. So thank you very much for that. This somebody asked earlier this afternoon. They text me. Cameron Chesney said that his 5 and 2-year-olds will be watching. They're probably asleep by now, but at least Cameron can maybe play this for them later. You can rewatch all of the Wade's Worlds on our Facebook page, and I encourage you to do so. It's some pretty cool stories and some pretty cool moments that I've never been a part of before. That's one of the best parts about this live stream is getting to experience things in moments and glimpses into people's careers and their homes. I mean, look at Cory's house there. You know, I mean, that's probably something you wouldn't have experienced if this quarantine hadn't have happened. So I love how the artists are out there working hard and inviting people into their houses and still playing music. The music in times and when times are good and bad, seems like people always turn to music first. So this is a song I wrote for my boys and Bruce and Brock, and I love them to death, and I love this time I've got to spend with them. So Cameron Chesney asked me to play this for his kiddos, so here you go. The world says you're ready when you're 18. I was no exception to the rule. Eager to try my hand at proving that I was a man, not an ounce of fear in anything I do. Yeah, I thought I knew it all. Turns out I didn't have a clue. Before these walls were blue, I remember sitting there in that old rocker, 3 a.m. trying to get you back asleep. Well, I'd find myself laughing at you, laughing, wishing the hands of time that I could cheat. Yeah, I thought that I knew love. Turns out I didn't have a clue. Before these walls, before these walls were blue. I believe in heaven, I believe in magic, and I believe in the life inside these walls. Now I believe in dinosaurs and toy trains and baseball. What are you gonna be for Halloween? Well, I'll be the villain, you be the hero. Save the day the way that you've always saved me. Yeah, I thought I knew myself. Turns out I never had a damn clue. Before these walls, before these walls, before these walls were blue. Thank you, Cameron Chesney, for asking for that one.
That's awesome, man. That's beautiful.
I get asked a lot, what's my favorite song I've ever written? That's my favorite one. That's one that wasn't written by me. It was handed down from a higher power. My buddy Scooter Caruso and I wrote that song. For some reason, my buddy John said that there's an overwhelming a group of Navy vets watching tonight, Cory, which is cool. It's so random that that's the first time that we've had this group of guys. I don't know, or group of women. I don't know, guys and gals. The Navy vets commenting on their service. So thank you very much. And we're so glad that you're tuned in from wherever you may be. And that's pretty cool that everybody's commenting and asking for that, right? I mean, bunch of Navy vets. That's cool.
That's very cool. That's very cool, man. Thank you all for your service, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, man. And so what do you have on the horizon for you real quick before we send you on your merry way? We'll do a couple more. Is that cool? You want to do two more, and I'll do one more?
I'm here for the duration, so.
I'll do. Why don't you do another one, and then I'll do one, and then you can send us home with something Cory Morrow style.
Okay, man. I if you don't mind, I wrote a new one for the one you just played made me want to sing this, so I wrote this for my daughter.
Cool.
This is her second song, and I've only written one for one of my 4 boys, so I'm like way behind on my homework here. I need to write some songs for my other kids, but my 4 boys and a little girl, and so she's kind of stolen my heart, and so I wrote this for her, and she sings it. Her own version of it is Daddy. I sing Daisy, and she sings Daddy. So she's almost 3, and she'll grab her little dragon and she'll dance around, and it's just like, dude.
And one of my favorite moments of the day was when we were sound checking for tonight, and she walked in and said, "Daddy, can you please come swing me?
Swing me.
Push me on a swing." And it just melted my heart. I was like, oh, gosh.
It's surreal, man. Every morning I'm waking up and I'm feeling like I'm having like piece myself back together because I just fall apart every time she comes in the room.
I get it. Cheers, man. To that.
Cheers. Bless you, brother. Girl, she ran off with my heart. She took one quick look and she had me hooked with her baby blue stars. She said, "Come and get me, Daddy, come and find me. I'm hiding over here." And I played a big bad wolf with that little girl for the rest of my years. I sing Daisy, Daisy. Missing me too.
Yeah, man. That's beautiful.
It's fun, man.
I know she loves that one.
She does. She goes. I say Daisy, and so she just goes, Daddy, Daddy. It's freaking total blast, man. It's ridiculous.
And you
So
wrote
much
it
fun,
like
dude.
Not sweet and sentimental like me. You wrote it with fun, and I know kids love
Well,
that.
She loves to bounce around and dance and sing, and so just like I was saying before, like when I start playing, they all come in and start grabbing instruments and they start bouncing and dancing and moving, and it's like that's I wrote that during the quarantine, and so they're just moving around and like going crazy, and I'm like, okay, well let's play something that keeps them moving. You know, they want to hear Old Town Road. They keep asking for Old Town Road and Daddy Shark, Baby Shark.
Yes.
You know, and so it's like, okay, I gotta find something that I can write that is that has that makes them want to do this. So it's
Well, you did it.
just ridiculous, man. So much fun.
Hey, someone asked me. This is a good question here. I did a gospel record a few years ago for my mom that kind of fell out of the sky, came out of nowhere. Someone asked
Lot
if
of
you
people.
have ever thought about doing a gospel record.
I have. I actually started writing my first gospel-ish song during the Quaranstream, and well, not quarantine. But yeah, I don't know if it would be gospel. I think I definitely want to put some gospel songs on it, but more along the lines of like throwing some of my favorite Christian artists songs on there. Dave Crowder, Matt Maher, Need to Breathe. You know, some stuff by those guys. I'd love to cover some of those songs that are some of my favorites that are out there, and then find some off the beaten path cool songs as well. Hillsong's does some really cool stuff, and but yeah, I mean, it's definitely on the radar, and
You
I
should,
just don't know
man.
what's
It's
gonna
cool. I did a bunch of it on Easter Sunday. I did a kind of a Wade's World special thing and played a lot of songs from the gospel record, songs that I thought I'd never play live, you know.
Right.
And it was really, really inspiring and fun for me to play those songs. You think they're easy to sing, but they're not. It's like Christmas songs, man. You think they're traditional and you're good, but nope. It's kind of like the
It's not
national
easy, dude.
anthem. It's hard.
That's
it's
so
hard.
cool, man.
Do you have a?
Well, are you thinking about playing one right now?
Oh gosh,
Are you thinking about playing one right now?
no, I wasn't planning on it.
Take us home on a gospel song.
I think I played enough of that on Sunday. Everybody's like, "Move on, man." You have a collaboration record coming out. Is that right? You have another one with Pat. Is that what you've been working on?
Man, we've been talking about it. I think if we talk more about it in public on like like the Quaranstream here in Wade's World, if I say that it's going to happen, then Pat
Then it will.
might force him into the corner of making it happen. No, we talked about it, and the idea was thrown on the table, and there was a resounding yes from both sides that we want to do it. We want to hit the road and do a tour kind of off the original songs we wish we'd written record, and then go in and maybe record a couple new songs to commemorate the 20 years of doing it. I think it was 2000 when we first put that record out, and
Yeah, it's
that's,
crazy.
like I know with Randy, it's just so much fun to go do shows with your buddy like that. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
totally surreal.
it really is. We named our first record Volume 1 knowing that would put the pressure on us to do Volume 2.
That was wise.
It's like made us. We had to do Volume 2 before we even finished Volume 1. So, yeah, I know. And that Songs We Wish You'd Written was a huge record for you guys and really great for our scene. I don't know how many people really understand what that movement did when, we had this big gap to me in my head. The way I have it is we had the outlaw movement of the 70s with Willie and Waylon and all that great group of guys. And then we had this big gap. We had Robert Earl filling that gap. And then you guys came along, you and Pat and Jack.
Totally screwed it up.
No, you really did some crazy cool things, and I mean getting to play some of the most, like, what's your favorite place you've ever played?
I think, favorite place that I've ever played. That's a good one.
One of your favorite shows.
Why'd you do that?
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
I think some of the most memorable. I love playing Whitewater. I loved playing Stubbs Outdoors. There's just something about that.
Oh yeah.
We played. What's the House of Blues in Boston? Is that the one that's right next to the stadium?
Yes.
That was a really cool. We did that one with Pat.
And you know, another time I saw when Waylon Jennings passed away, you and Pat got to sing a Waylon song at the Waylon tribute at the Ryman that Shooter put on. And I was in the crowd. I got invited by Shooter to come hang out
Really?
and be there, and it was really cool to see you guys represent
That was an
Red
honor.
Dirt, Texas music.
Pat asked me to come up and do that, and he didn't have to. It was just absolutely 100% one of the things that he has done for me in my life that just shows the kind of friend that he is. He's done a lot of really amazing things. That was another just selfless. He just thought, you know what, I want you to come sing this with me at Waylon's tribute. And it was
really cool. I'm so glad I was there.
Who's that guy? Lotus, Flores Country Store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful.
That's some of my. I've had some really amazing memories there. I got to sing with Willie Nelson, Robert Earl, and Lyle Lovett, and just.
That's a great place.
Yeah.
It always is music first there, not money.
Yep.
And that's hard to find venues that are about that. So, but I think they do okay making money too. So this is one that someone asked for, and I'm so glad. We actually, Randy and I released a couple of live records. We did this acoustic thing, and then we had this full band thing that we kind of threw out to the world. Nobody even really knows it's out there, but it's out there. Live from Dallas, House of Blues, back in 2015. We just we happened to record one of those great nights where everything clicked. So this is one that someone asked for, and I'm so glad they did. This is one I put on there for fun. So, take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it soft against your skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. And I don't care what's right or wrong, and I won't try to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. I don't care who's right or wrong, Let the devil take tomorrow, 'cause tonight I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. It's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Oh, I just can't stand to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for the request. I forgot who requested it earlier, but checked my text messages earlier, so thank you
That's awesome, man.
for asking for that.
Christofferson.
Yeah, man.
It's just beautiful, dude.
Um,
Brother, thank you for
Cory,
having me on the show.
I can't thank you enough. I was just about to say that to you, man. I took up 3 hours of your time. I can't thank you enough. This is a lot of fun. It's a lot of talking, and I really enjoy talking shop and talking music, man, with buddies. I love showing people this is what we do. This is what we talk about. We not only care about each other's families and personal life, but we also care about our craft. And you're one of those guys that has always cared about the craft of music and making that the best that you can possibly be. So it shows in your music. It shows in the way you write songs. It shows in the way you sing. It shows in your performances. You're one of the best live performers as well, man. So thank you for being a part of it, a part of our night. And hopefully we raise some good money for everybody. Thank you to everybody that donated. Once again, you can donate a virtual tip jar, wadebowen.com/tip, or you can buy something from the merch stores from CoryMorrow.com or WadeBowen.com. You'll be entered to win a autographed Wade's World. There's only, I think there's 5 of them in the entire world right now. So you'll have a chance to win one of those. I want to remind everybody, Hold My Beer Volume 2 comes out May 8th. You can listen to Rhinestoned today. It's a brand new song that we just released. If you pre-purchase the record, go to randyandwade.com to buy bundles and all kinds of cool stuff that we're signing for you guys. What else? I want to send a huge thank you out to, Oreos. Thank you to Oreos.
Nabisco.
The people that are texting me right now: Tony, Greg Peterson, Chad Honecker, Chris Stoker, Kathy Martin, Susan Cheek, Stacy Brock, all these people. Thank you so much for texting me your requests, and I know we couldn't get to them all tonight, but we'll try to get to some of them next week if we can. My guest next week will be the amazing Brandy Clark. If you're not familiar with her, I encourage you to go buy her records right now and get familiar with her stuff before next week, because you're going to hear some of the best written songs you've ever heard in your life. And then the week after that will be my buddy Sean McConnell will be on the show with us. So trying to create something different, something unique for you as you're sitting at home, something special that I hope to continue to do long after this quarantine is over, because we all need music no matter what's going on in our lives. That's the most important thing. So Cory Morrow, once again, thank you for being our guest. And I'm kind of cruel in the fact that I make my guests, or I ask of my guests, to kick things off and also send us home. But to me, this is all about you guys and all about our guests that take the time to come out and be a part of our night. So thank you for being a part of Wade's World. God bless you, buddy, and send us home with something cool.
Amen. Thank you, brother. I'm just going to do a little moving around and play something new, if that's all right. This is sort of a song my wife and I wrote to talk about, interestingly enough, taking a rainy day and seeing that there's a blessing in the middle of it, that God works all things together for good, and there's joy to be found in the midst of every situation, and He can take something that seems really, really horrible, and He can make amazing beauty out of it. So we just started off with this, and I'm going to play it for you.
Awesome.
Thunder and lightning, screaming and fighting. Baby's been up all night again. Everything feels as heavy as the rain on my soul and on my skin. Down the street, there's a baby crying. I know they've been up as late as me. It tells me it sounds like you got perfect harmony. Sometimes it takes a little rain to help you see. If it's sunshine that you're needing to brighten up your cloudy day, oh, let me tell you, there ain't no sunshine that can hold a candle to all the love, joy, and pain you get from dancing in the rain. Yeah. Whoa, I'm dancing in the rain. Worry and fear cause anger, then tears. Tears I don't have time to wipe away. Now she says neglecting, but I say protecting. Saving up a future while I give away today. And down the street I hear their voices laughing and singing Amazing Grace. And all my words and all my songs could not explain the way grace saved me. He said, if it's sunshine that you needed to brighten up your cloudy day, oh, let me tell you, there ain't no sunshine that can hold a candle to all the love, joy, and pain. Oh, if it's sunshine that you needed, oh, to brighten
Man, what a perfect ending.
Brother,
Great.
thank you so
great
much,
ending
man.
song. And you showing off on that
It's been a
guitar
blast.
playing.
What's
Showing off your guitar playing there. Show off.
fun?
Yeah, you're a great player, man. Great human being, great songwriter, great singer. So glad to have you. Thank you very much for your time tonight. A lot of your time tonight. Please give your family a hug, and thank you for being a part of making Wade's World a special moment.
Love you, man. Thank you so much for having me. God bless you and your family too.
All right, man. Thank you all so much out there for watching Wade's World, the ultimate Quaranstream. We truly love doing this every week. We'll be back next week. My guest will be Brandy Clark. Thank you for all the texts. Thank you for all the donations, for the merch store buys, for everything that you're doing to support us. We truly appreciate it. Give a shout out to my band, my crew, my management, my booking, all those guys everyone's struggling right now. And we're all just going to hang in there and get through this time. I want to give a shout out to all the healthcare workers out there, doctors, nurses, everybody that's taking care of us. I want to give a shout out to all of our armed forces, all of our law enforcement, and everybody who's just keeping a positive spin on this whole craziness. This is something we'll never forget the rest of our lives. Our grandkids will be telling their grandkids about this time. So we choose at Wade's World to make the best of it all. And we love you and thank you very much for being a part of our lives and allowing us to do what we love to do with our lives. So as always, I'm going to send you home with our PSA that we made a few weeks ago. I promised myself that I would show this every single week because it's really important to see all these artists come together and just talk about all of this and how we're going to all get through it. Stay safe, hug your family, call your mom, and we love you guys.
World, it's Wade. Hell yeah, boy.
Hey y'all, Cody here with the Reckless Kelly Band. Just wanted to say hi and sing a little song I wrote called We Will All Get Through This Together. It goes like this. We will all get through this together if we all do our part. Don't cough, sneeze, or fart on each other unless it's your brother. Yeah, we will all get through this together. Love y'all. Be good. Take care of each other. Bye.
That's about 6 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about 6 feet.
Okay. Hey guys, Willie Braun, Gary Braun. We're out at the dump looking for things to wipe our butts with. It's going pretty good so far. I found a half a thing of baby wipes.
Yeah, and we also wanted to remind everybody to keep at least 6 feet difference
About
or
6
distance.
feet.
Distance.
Yeah.
It's important right now.
Don't go coughing on each other or nothing.
Yep. And we hope that the toilet paper shortage is treating you better than it's treating us. Oh, hey, right behind you.
Oh, nice.
Newspaper, that'll work.
And a failing New York Times.
Yeah. Anyway, be safe, everybody.
Hey y'all, be safe, be kind, and we'll get through this together.
It's okay, y'all. It's okay. Don't panic. It's gonna be fine. I love y'all. Music heals. Be safe. Yeah, okay.
Hey guys, I know these are pretty weird times right now, but we're gonna stick together and we're gonna stay safe and we're gonna stay strong. And remember, music is healing.
Hey everybody, we just wanted to wish you well and let you know we're thinking about you during this crazy, unprecedented time. We're enjoying spending time with each other, which we never really get to do, and hanging out with our friends and family that we never get to see. And we can't wait to be back on the road and making more music for you guys and playing songs for you. So hope to
and
see
drinking
you.
a beer with you too.
Yeah, drinking a beer and having a good time, and hope to see you down the road doing all those things. And in the meantime, hope you're staying safe, staying indoors, and
growing out your beards.
Playing a little t-ball out here in the backyard today with Hattie because baseball season has been postponed for a while. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day, and it's beautiful out here in the backyard. I even put on my Wade Bowen throwback shirt. I hope you guys are good, and we'll see you on down the old Dusty Trail.
Hey everybody, remember, music heals. Be safe, be kind, be good to each other. See you soon from the Randy Rogers Band.
Hey, music heals. We'll get through this together. Y'all be safe, be kind.
Hey y'all, music heals. Be safe, be kind to each other, and we'll all get through this together.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, hope everybody's doing well. Be kind to one another. It's a trying time. Let's get through this together, and we'll be out there as soon as we can playing for you guys again. Peace.
Hey friends, I just wanted to remind y'all that this new way of life is only temporary. We're going to get through it together. Be safe, be kind to one another, and remember that music heals.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Co Wetzel. I just wanted to tell y'all to be safe out there and take care of one another, man. World's in a crazy spot right now, and we all need each other, man. We're going to get through this. So y'all take care, and we'll see y'all soon.
Hey everybody, Pat Green here. You know what? Music heals, and we're all in this together. So be safe and be kind and be patient. God bless.
Hey everybody, Cody here at our little compound here in New Braunfels, Texas. Hold up and not spreading. Doing what we're supposed to do. To all you musicians out there, hang tight, hang tough, keep writing because music does heal. Music helps us. It's really important that you listen to me.
Hey folks, just sending you a little bit of love. I know you're all hanging in there, hanging tough. We're getting through this. We're getting through it. Stay strong, stay safe. We'll be jamming music in no time. Love y'all.
Hello everybody, Larry Joe Taylor here. Self-quarantine like the rest of y'all are, I guess. I do hope that you're able to enjoy your family during this time. And let's try to be safe, be kind, and let's try to help each other out when we get the chance. See you soon, I hope.
Hey everybody, Josh here. Just wanted to say that we sure do miss being out there on the road and can't wait to get back. In the meantime, stream the music you love. Music heals.
Wade's World, party time, excellent. What's up, everybody? Josh Grider. Hope you're safe, hope you're healthy. Wade, love your show. Come over and do it one of these days if you need somebody else. I know you got Randy tonight. What's up, Randy? What's up, everybody watching? I hope you're staying safe, staying healthy. I hope this thing blows over soon so we can all get back to playing live shows and being all together. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Take care. Later.
Howdy everybody, Kevin Fowler here, reminding you to stay safe and don't forget to be kind to your fellow man. We are all in this together and we can make it, I guarantee you. Don't forget also, music can get us through tough times like this. Music heals, y'all. Hang in there. We'll see y'all on the other side. Cannot wait to get back on the road. We'll see y'all soon. Take care.
Hey y'all, just a reminder to pray out loud. Make your grandparents proud by staying home. And don't forget to wash your hands. And turn the radio on. Music heals. And be kind to one another. Love one another. We're in this together. And we can beat this together. Y'all stay safe out there.
Hey everybody, just want to encourage everyone to stay safe, stay kind, hug your loved ones, hug your families, stay home and enjoy this time with them. That's what I've been doing, and we are enjoying it. That's all we can do. Nothing else we can do. So we're making the best of it, find the positive in all of this, and that is just being at home. So stay safe, stay kind, stay home, wash your hands, and keep supporting each other. We're going to get through this. Music heals.